All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the final of Abu Dhabi with Alexandrova taking on the young player Bejlek, who is going to serve, I think. Won the toss and elected to serve. All right. So that's we're going to finish this tournament off, and then in about an hour and a bit, we've got Raducanu coming up against Castella in the final of the Romania, which is really a good final. But how are we doing, chat? What's going on? How are we doing? Are we ready for finals day? And then we've got Doha starting tomorrow. We can keep up to date with what's going on in Montpellier. We've also got the Davis Cup going on as well. So that's all happening. I hope Emma wins. Yeah, it'd be so much fun to see her get a title. Not an easy one, though. She's got to take on the hometown favourite, so it's going to be pretty tricky. It will not be easy. All right, here we go. Bejlek to serve against Alexandrova. Alexandrova will be back in the top 10 after this week. And Bejlek, if you haven't heard of her before, she is another young player. Another young player in that same, group as we get a lovely lob to start the match by Bejlek, 15 love. So Alexandrova will be back to number 10. If she wins this match, she'll be number 9. Which is a career high for her. And Bejlek is already at a career high 52. And if she wins this match, she will be in the top 50 for the first time. If she loses, still career high 52 in the world. Another player from Czechia, 49 spots higher than last week. So huge win as a qualifier too, making the final of a 500. It really helps. But yeah, another. She's 20 years old, not a teenager. 20 years old. But along with Joint, Jovic, Boko, Andreeva, Eala, Valentova, Bejlek is in that group, right? In that generation. Bejlek. There goes the net by Bejlek, and it's 30-15. Alexandrova has lived in Prague since she was 12, and she's basically Czech. Just in case the Czechs need another player. Yeah, because they're pretty short on players. I mean, why not give them Alexandrova as well? 30-15. Bejlek serves into the backhand. It's a let. By the way, Chad, I watched 2 movies today. Natural Born Killers. Weird-ass movie, that one. And then I watched Up, which was lovely. And then I finished Mario Galaxy. Or at least I completed the story. 30-0! Now I have to collect the rest of the stars and also play the second one because I have both of them. So that's my week sorted after I make videos and do everything else I have to do. Up was sad. Yeah, I mean, it was sad, but then I knew the start was sad. But then it got less sad. 40-30. Bejlek with a good serve. Now the real challenge, but yeah. All right. Bejlek to take the first game of the match. Collecting the stars of the real rest and fun. Yeah, I know, right? That's the tough part. Backhand goes out by Bejlek, and it's deuce. Can Alcaraz break Djokovic's record? Maybe. I don't know. All right, we get the deuce. First game of the match. Valentova wins. Where? Valentova won what? As that goes out, you know what day it is today, Cam? Saturday. All right, advantage Bejlek. She serves. Fault second serve. Also, FAA kind of destroyed Feast yesterday, which was a bit disappointing. Also, Bolter is playing in the final of Ostrava, so that's cool. Oh, Doha qualies. Hang on a second. Oh, no, wait. I thought Kenan and Zhang were playing today. Is the schedule out for tomorrow for Doha? It must be, right? Because we're almost... It must be out, right? Oh, no. Oh, it'll be coming out in any second. So wait, the qualies are done. So that means they will be placed in the draw in the next few hours and we'll get a schedule. I would love to see Valentova versus Eala first round. That would be great. That'd be a great... Or Raducanu Valentova, that'd be a great first round. Both of those matches are great. That'd be really fun. Okay. As a return from Bejlek, goes to the backhand of Alexandrova. Bejlek with a slice. She's lefty, by the way, Bejlek, as she hits a slice backhand again to the forehand of Alexandrova. Bejlek with a backhand on the stretch, goes wide. And it's 15-love. All right. As we do 30-love. For anyone who loses in die-hard qualies, pretty sure there'll be a lucky loser spot. I mean, maybe. All right. Alexandrova, 40-love. But yeah, Raducanu, I mean, if she wins today, we'll see what happens. I don't know if anybody else will pull out. I mean, Alexandrova is probably going to play because she's in the area. But yeah, Raducanu, I mean, she might withdraw just because she's got to go from Romania to Doha. And she had a shoulder problem in the last match, so she might withdraw. Uh, 40-15. As a backhand return from Bejlek goes to the forehand of Alexandrova. Bejlek forehand to the backhand of Alexandrova. As Bejlek hits it down the line, Alexandrova slices it wide, and it's 40-30. 40-30. Zvonareva also qualified in singles. Wow. Interesting. All right, 40-30. As Alexandrova serves a fault, second serve. Double fault, Alexandrova. All right, deuce. First game of the Alexandrova serve. All right, first serve was a fault, second serve. Second serve into the forehand of Bejlek. Backhand now from Alexandrova. Sorry, forehand now from Alexandrova. Bejlek with a slice lob goes wide. And it's advantage Alexandrova. All right. Alexandrova to get the first game of the match. Raducanu has luck, not talent. Okay. She's not even playing right now, but cool. As that goes wide by Bejlek, and it's 1-1. Yeah, I saw the Rotterdam draw is out. That's cool. I can't do anything about it now because I am live. But I'll make a video for it eventually. Don't you worry. The video will be made soon. I just can't make the video now while we're live. Also, Rotterdam kind of got nerfed with Zverev and Alcaraz withdrawing, not going to lie. It's kind of... Losing those two kind of makes it less interesting for me. Even though I love Demon and FAA and the guys that are playing, it's great. But also, without two of the top dogs, it's kind of... It's definitely not as good as it was going to be. Doha is what I'm looking forward to more on the men's side in a week. As that goes out by Alexandrova, and it's 15-love. But we will tune into whatever, some of the stuff, I guess. A little bit of Rotterdam. Mostly Doha, though, because it's a 1,000. All right. 30-15. Uh, 4-15. As Bejlek looks to get back in front. There's some interesting matches in Rotterdam. All right, Bejlek holds, and it's 2-1 in the first set. So Feast Demon or first round is fire. Hurkacz Bublik's fun too. Tsitsipas Rinderk Nash, okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of good, interesting matches, first rounds. Doha will be much more interesting, yeah. Djokovic and Sinner all playing to Doha, yes. At this stage, yes. Which will be great. One of Bejlek's weapons is creating tight angles. Helped being a lefty. Yeah, fair enough. So who is she actually beat to get to the final? Because we've been focusing on the bottom half. Oh, pardon me. We've been paying attention to mainly the bottom half of the draw with Eala going through and Chen as well. But so she's beaten Kruger, Penko, Cartel, Towson. I mean, that's a good run. And then she went through the qualies and she took out okay, no one of note, but she won a couple of quality matches as well. So she's won 6 matches. Alexandrova has beaten Yastremska, Eala, Baptiste, and she saved a match point against Baptiste. I didn't expect you to be here. My morning class tomorrow got cancelled. Nice. I mean, I think, is that good? Is that a good thing or not? All right, Alexandrova to serve. He's going to find out of the forehand of Bejlek. Find out from Alexandrova to the backhand of Bejlek. Is Alexandrova backhand in the net? Love 15. And after that crazy match yesterday against Baptiste, you wonder if Alexandrova, who is also playing doubles final today, might be a little fatigued mentally and physically. Because her and Joint are playing the doubles final today as well. So, got to think maybe Alexandrova's a little tired. There's a backing out from Bejlek. Cross-court winner. What was that? That was a very slow winner. Love 30. Love 30. As that goes net by Alexandrova, love 40. Eala is playing Doha next week. By the way, I'm going to wait until Jean or Dutchy confirm, but is Danny telling the truth or is Danny just making things up? Because I'll tell you what, I'm sorry, Danny, you are notoriously wrong. So I don't know whether you're just making things up or if you actually know something we don't. As Bejlek gets the break, 3-1. He's just making things up. Okay, good, noted. Danny, don't do that. If you don't have the information, just leave it. Let somebody else tell who does have it, or just like don't just say things. Especially when it regards, news and stuff. Glad you finished the first. Well done. Curious if you will like the second better. It's definitely harder than the first one. So, okay. That's good then. All right. 3-1 to Bejlek. Alexandrova, a bit of a sloppy start. Love 15. As a return goes in front of Bejlek. Back in now from Alexandrova. Into the back end of Bejlek. Alexandrova forehand again. The back end of Bejlek. Alexandrova again with the backhand into the back end of Bejlek. And Bejlek hits it long. Love 30. Love 30. Czechia must have a secret factory where all the players are coming from. Yeah. It is actually crazy. Like, whatever they're doing in Czechia, whatever the pathway is, I don't know, like, people gotta figure out how to do that. Other countries need to figure that out, because do they just give massive incentives to tennis players? Like, is there scholarships? Like, what the hell is, like, what is going on? I don't think anyone actually knows. Like, it's actually a mystery. People have tried to study it, but it actually doesn't make sense because nobody knows. Apparently, there's no massive academies. There's no crazy like academy that comes, and recruits everybody. It's just that people are really good at tennis in Czechia. Anyways, break back for Alexandrova for 3-1. That's right, 3-2. But Czechia have been ridiculously good over the last 20 or so years. Crazy. I don't see Chen listed in doubles for myself. Yeah, Chen's not playing doubles. It was more have the qualities been placed, because obviously that hasn't happened either. So yeah, so please just hold back from like making any false things in the chat. False news. Hey, Maureen, thank you for the £10 super sticker. Appreciate that. Thank you for joining. Coco and Boko are playing doubles, though? Yeah, I heard that. That's so cool. All right. 3-2. It's a club system. Every town has a club, and the main club have the pros playing alongside everybody else. Really? Okay. Interesting. I wonder if, like, do they have, like, a lot of... So the problem in Australia, right, is that Australian tennis, the only way to get good is moving to Europe or America. Like, it's very rare that a pro comes out of Australia by staying in Australia. You know, Barty was an exception. Kyrgios was a bit of an exception. But, like, De Minaur moved to Spain. Most of our players are not even from Australia. You know, let's be, like, totally honest. Most of them have come from Europe. And then, you know, now they play for Australia, like Kazatkina, Saville, Tomanovic, right? They're not Australian. They've all come to Australia. You know, you got guys like Thompson, you know, Kokkinakis. Be interesting to study how they went through. But again, like, you're not going to, I don't think you're going to become a pro by staying in Australia. You have to leave the country. And Europe is the hotspot where, like, you can go to America and play the college system maybe, but, like, it's really Europe is where you want to be. Well, Hewitt and Stosur are retired, so, you know, I'm talking about current, like, right now. You know, Poprin, I think, went to the Moratoglu Academy, so he went to Europe, right? Yeah. So it's really, we need to study what Czech Republic are doing. How the hell is it because they're in Europe? Is that the big advantage? But, like, does Tennis Australia need to set up a base in Europe? Like, is that what they need to do? They need to set up a Tennis Australia in Europe with lodging. Like, Tennis Australia should set up an academy in Europe, actually, where the Australian tennis players can, you know, have a headquarters, you know, and relocate to a Tennis Australia Europe headquarters, right? That would be such a good idea. Anyway, 30-0. And then have a pathway of going, like, okay, well, if you play, you know, in the clubs, then you can go to an academy, like the European headquarters for Tennis Australia. I mean, that would be a great idea. Or have an American headquarters too, with, like, lodging and hotels and, like, tennis court, like an actual academy. So that way, going to Europe won't be so scary. You won't have to just, like, you know, slum it out in the hostels and try and, like, play tennis. If they actually had, like, an actual base. But you know what, chat? What would I know? 40-30. 40-30. All right. First serve is a fault, second serve. All Americans are basically from Europe. Fair enough. Backhand return. Into the forehand of Alexandrova. Backhand by Bejlek as we get a forehand Alexandrova. Bejlek goes down the line. Alexandrova backhand cross court goes wide and it's deuce. Cam, are you drinking alcohol on live? Yeah, it's come to this. I've had enough. The only way I can get through the day now of streaming is drinking. You pushed me to the brink, chat. I have had enough. I've been pushed too far. And now the only way I can survive this is by drinking tea. Iced tea. Lemon, no sugar. As Alexandrova hits a winner down the line, advantage. Advantage Alexandrova. You need to slur your words, make it believable. I do that anyway because I am Australian. I speak fast. Hey, DJ, thank you for the 37 months. Appreciate that. All right, Bejlek, by the way, does have her right calf strapped. She just fell over then, but she seems okay. All right, 7 to the forehand of Bejlek. Return. Into the forehand of Alexandrova. Bejlek backhand to the forehand of Alexandrova. It's Bejlek. Slice off the tape. In comes Alexandrova. Bejlek with a pass. Goes long. It's 3-3. 3-all. Sorry, it looks like that. Does this really look like alcohol to you? Chat, be honest. Why would I be drinking alcohol out of a plastic bottle? How does that... Is that... That feels like... Is that a thing? I don't think we have that here. Like, if you're drinking alcohol, it's out of a glass, or it's not a plastic, or a tin. Like a can. It's not out of, like, the bottle. Is that a thing? Or maybe it's a thing where you are. All right. 3-all. Good serve down the tee from Bejlek as Alexandrova hits a forehand into the forehand of Bejlek. Into the forehand slice of Alexandrova, but that goes long. And it's 15-love. Whiskey in the jar. That's it. That's it. Good song. Coco Gauff is not from European descent. Cool. So who said that? Nobody. Okay. So why are you bringing it up? 15-love is with a forehand to backhand rally. Bejlek hits it long. And it's 15-all. Cheers, DJ. Appreciate it. Thanks. Actually, a good idea, Cam. Mix cold drinks with alcohol. Nobody will suspect a thing. No, that's what I did not say that. I'm not doing that. As the return goes in the forehand of Bejlek. Backhand from Alexandrova again. The forehand of Bejlek. Is that beer? Yes. As a drop shot from Bejlek. It's not very good. Alexandrova comes to the net. Bejlek with a lob. That's too good. 30-15. Great lob by Bejlek. It looks like petrol. Maybe it is. Alcohol is not strong enough, so now I'm drinking gasoline. Straight up petrol. I'm not doing that. That's illegal. Don't do that. It's really bad for you probably as well. Don't do that. I was joking. It was a joke. At least 17. Why less people watching the final game? That's a great question. Great question. Great question. All right. As Bejlek comes in there, puts it away, 4-3. Bejlek takes the lead again. 4-3. Now, we're not watching the doubles final, we're watching Raducanu in her final. Because someone said there's all Americans are from European descent, and you said fair enough. No, they said Jovic and Anisimova were European descent. They didn't say, they said basically all Americans, and then they went on to say Jovic and Anisimova. And I said fair enough. They didn't say all Americans, they said basically. So let that person live. All right. Bejlek mainly a clay quarter, won 2 challenger events on the surface on clay at the end of the year. Nice. Well, we'll be watching her at Roland Garros then. Were the Eala fans not happy because Alexandrova took her out? Well, why would the Eala fans watch this match? That doesn't make sense. You know who should be watching this match? All the Eala haters who complain about watching Eala. Well, now we're watching Alexandrova Bejlek. Where are you? Where are the people that don't like Eala? Who complain that we watch Eala all the time? That's who I want. Why are they not here? We're watching someone else. So it should be more. There should be more people watching this match that are not Eala fans. Eala fans aren't here. Why would they be here? It's the other fans that need to be. Where are they? They're not here. Did your package arrive? Not yet. Not yet. They haven't arrived yet, no. But they should arrive next week, I think. Also, Alexandrova is getting her left shoulder worked on. So she's having a medical timeout. I'm still waiting for the Eala losing party. Well, yeah, that guy disappeared. I'm an Eala fan still here. Hey, Clarissa. Thank you. Respect that. Raducanu is playing in like an hour. So we'll watch her soon. Yesterday doubles add people watching because of Eala. Yeah, because Eala's playing. Greetings from Mexico City. Hey, what's up? All right, so Alexandrova is getting some work on her left shoulder. She is right-handed. Is Pliskova a former world number 1 and 2-time Grand Slam finalist? I think she only made one final. She made two. Wimbledon as well. I forgot the Wimbledon final where she lost to Barty. But yeah, she made two finals. You're right. I'm here with the thrift store updates. Hey, look, you may laugh at being thrifty, but I tell you, going to the thrift store is a life hack. And if you're too afraid to go there, you're missing out. But that's okay because it's more for me. I went to the thrift today. Not great going on the weekends because a lot of people are there and all the good shit's been taken. But going to a thrift store is a life hack. I found a Ministry of Sound CD though. That was a win. You go all the time? Oh, I thought you were making a joke. The way I read it, you were sounding sarcastic. I'm here for the thrift store updates. You actually are, though. Well, I went to the thrift store and I found a Mystery of Sound CD. It was great. Who's injured? Alexandrova. Hence the red name. Pliskova actually won the first set at Wimbledon final. She did. I love Camp Thrift Store. Yeah, I went today and it was unsuccessful. That's okay. Can't be good every day. Also, yesterday I had a great... I found a lot of good stuff. So, yesterday made up for today being a lack of stuff. All right, Alexandrova back on court. Probably 4-3 to Bejlek. On serve. Anyone else think Bejlek kind of looks like Jen Brady? At least in the thumbnail. I feel like the photo that I used is like Jen Brady. All right, that goes out by Bejlek and it's 15-love. Maybe I did accidentally get like a young Jennifer Brady photo instead. Whoops. 15-love. Yeah, Bejlek is kind of like a left-handed Palini. She definitely has that sort of Palini style, and she's short. By the way, very windy out there. Or glitchy, I don't know. Maybe it's a glitch. Might be a glitch in the screen. All right, return goes the backhand of Alexandrova. Forehand now from Bejlek. Into the backhand of Alexandrova. Bejlek forehand down the line. Just missed. 30-love. We're having good weather this weekend, so it means yard sales. Very California. That's awesome. I haven't been to a yard sale in a minute. I should probably go to some. I should have gone today. All right. 30-love. As the return goes into the backhand of Alexandrova, but Alexandrova hits out 30-15. Fair comment, Cam. Other fans should indeed be watching their players by default, right? Here to watch the tennis. How these two are playing. I support Eala from Manila. That's all right. If you're 30-15, by the way. I mean, look, if you're an Eala fan, I understand why you wouldn't watch her. Why you wouldn't watch her now because she's not playing. It's more the people that complain that we only watch Eala and then all of a sudden we watch someone else and they're not here. Bejlek wasn't ready, by the way. Yeah, I feel like yard sales, you find really good stuff. Like, you find some really good stuff. All right, 30-15, second serve. Into the backhand of Bejlek. Return into the backhand of Alexandrova. Bejlek forehand down the line to the forehand of Alexandrova. Crossed into the backhand of Bejlek. Forehand from Alexandrova again. To the backhand of Bejlek. But Bejlek gets it out, and it's 40-15. 40-15. By the way, Chad, a week ago, we watched the women's final at the Australian Open. Yes, it's been a week, but also it's only been a week. That happened a week ago, but also it was only a week ago. All right, that goes out by Alexandrova, and it's 40-30. Do you think Dasha's underperforming? She's better than her ranking, yeah, for sure, but I am not judging Dasha because she's had a tough year. It's been a very big year for her off court. So as that goes out by Bejlek, and it's 4-0 in the first set. Quali's placed to Doha. Oh god. Okay, what are we doing? What are we doing? What's happening? Where can you did you send it to me or what's up? Wait, is Valentova actually playing? Is it actually Valentova? Don't tell me. Dasha is not performing well under the Aussie flag. Yeah, but she's also completely changed nationalities and country. So I mean that's probably not easy. Oh, it is happening! Actually awesome though. I love that. Valentova Eala, I love that. Osorio Raducanu is actually fire too. Whoa. Oh wait, so who pulled out? So Badosa pulled out. Badosa withdrew. I think. Because Penko Badosa is not happening anymore. So Badosa withdrew. There's 2 lucky losers. So who else withdrew? Badosa withdrew and another player withdrew. Oh, Krejcikova. Okay, yeah, she was injured last week. Love 30. I say Krejcikova and actually there's only 2 lucky losers. All right. Chen Castella though is actually fire too. So there's a couple of good matches there. Noskova joint. We talked about that already. I like that. Eala Valentova is actually kind of fire. That is a fire matchup. I am happy with that matchup. Very, very fun match. Valentova's got some. She's been in some good form. She's got some fire to her. She is a very fun player to watch and a very fiery player to watch as well, just like Eala. So that's gonna be fun. A battle of the young guns too in that first round. All right, as that goes out by Alexandrova. And it's 30-0. All right, as Alexandrova hits a lovely shot, it's break point, 30-40. Break point for Alexandrova to break and serve the set. First serve's a fault, second serve. As Alexandrova forehand. Forehand of Bejlek as we got a backhand now from Alexandrova. Bejlek gets it back with the backhand into the forehand of Alexandrova. Bejlek backhand down the line as Alexandrova goes with a forehand into the backhand of Bejlek. Again, the forehand of Alexandrova in the net, and it's deuce. Alexandrova not able to take advantage. All right. We get to deuce. All right, as we get a forehand now. Winner down the line from Bejlek, and it's advantage Bejlek. All right. As Bejlek with a great serve. All right. She takes the lead. And Alexandrova is going to serve to stay in the set. All right. All right. 5-4. So Eala and Valentova played at the end of last year in Japan. And Valentova won pretty easily, but I don't know. I feel like Eala would learn from that. It's going to be interesting. That's why I don't want Valentova. At least she's... Wait, what? Osorio, Gracheva are the most doable. I just want Eala to have an easy draw. I mean, look. She's going to have to beat these players eventually. So, like, you know, she's going to keep going up. So, at least she's already played Valentova, so she can have a bit of a different game plan going in. I mean, I'd rather play Valentova this week than play Osorio again, who she just lost to. At least with Valentova, she's had a couple of tournaments now to, you know, to regain some form and figure it out, and then, you know, now she can try again against Valentova. Like that's... It's better to play Valentova, I think, now than some of the other players. All right, love 15. At least that's how I'm looking at it. All right, love 15. As Bejlek hits it out. And it's 15 all. As Bejlek with the backhand into the backhand of Alexandrova. Bejlek with a lob. Alexandrova comes in with a smash. Puts it away. And it's 30-15. As that goes out by Bejlek, and it's 40-15. As the return goes to forehand of Alexandrova. Bejlek slice. Into the backhand of Alexandrova. Bejlek with a forehand. Into the forehand of Alexandrova. Bejlek slice again. Goes wide, and it's 5-5. 5-all to start this first final of the day. All right. All right, back to Bejlek. As Alexandrova can't get to the drop shot. All right, first serve was a fault, second serve. And it's a double fault, 15-all. As we're backhand from Alexandrova into the backhand of Valentiva. I'm thinking about tomorrow's match. Or the next day. Hopefully they play tomorrow. Raducanu Kasea playing soon. As Alexandrova hits it out. And it's 30-15. As the return goes out by Alexandrova. And it's 40-15. First serve is a fault, second serve. Second serve. Return goes into the forehand of Alexandrova. Bejlek hits it wide. And it's... And it's 40-30. As we get a fault again. Second serve. And then the return goes out by Alexandrova, and Bejlek holds. And she takes a 6-5 lead in this first set. All right. Six, 5 to the quali. And we've got Raducanu taking on Kasea in about 30 minutes-ish. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. They're dancing in the crowd. That's so much fun. All right. Parks is mostly dangerous indoors. Okay. All right. All right. Alexandrova serving to get to the tiebreak. Made a fault second serve. All right. 15 love. As that goes out by Bejlek, and it's 30 love. All right, 30 love. As a backhand from Alexandrova into the forehand of Bejlek. Forehand from Alexandrova again, the forehand of Bejlek. Cross court in the backhand of Alexandrova. Bejlek with a slice forehand. Alexandrova down the line of the forehand of Bejlek as Alexandrova hits a backhand cross court, but it's wide and it's 30-15. All right, first serve is a fault. Second serve. Backhand from Alexandrova off the tape. Bejlek backhand goes in the backhand of Alexandrova. Crossed into the forehand of Bejlek. Alexandrova forehand cross court. Bejlek on the stretch with a slice. Goes into the forehand of Alexandrova. Bejlek back in the rally. As Alexandrova forehand goes long. All right, 30-all. Chance for Bejlek to take the set here if she can win the next point. All right. Forehand now from Alexandrova. Into the backhand of Bejlek. Down the line of the backhand of Alexandrova. Crossed into the forehand of Bejlek. Alexandrova forehand crossing the net. We're going to set point 30-40. Bejlek a chance to break and take the set. All right. First serve of the fault. Second serve. And the return the net by Bejlek. Bad miss. We get the deuce. Did a forehand now to the backhand of Bejlek. Into the backhand of Alexandrova. Bejlek again goes to the backhand of Alexandrova. Forehand now from Bejlek again. The Alexandrova backhand. As Alexandrova goes cross-court with a forehand into the backhand of Bejlek. Alexandrova forehand down the middle. Bejlek gets it back. Alexandrova down the line off the tape is a winner. She says sorry, but she'll take it. Advantage Alexandrova. To get to the tiebreak. All right, serve. Into the forehand of Bejlek. Return. Into the forehand of Alexandrova. Alexandrova overhits it. We're back to deuce. Back to deuce. First serve is a fault. Second serve. As the return goes into the forehand of Alexandrova. Backhand Bejlek. And the backhand of Alexandrova. Bejlek with the forehand into the Alexandrova forehand. Goes on the baseline and Bejlek hits a bit of a moon ball. Alexandrova gets back in the rally. Slice from Bejlek. Alexandrova gets it back with a forehand slice. Bejlek down the line with the backhand. Alexandrova in the net. And Bejlek gets another set point. Great rally to take the first set. All right, first serve is a fault. Second serve. As the return goes in the back of Alexandrova, Bejlek forehand. Into the Alexandrova forehand. Bejlek with a slice in the net. Back to deuce. All right, back to deuce. As a return, goes into the forehand of Alexandrova, backhand from Bejlek, goes wide, and it's going to be Alexandrova to get us to the tie break. All right, there's Bejlek backhand into the slice of Alexandrova. Bejlek with a drop shot. It's not very good. Alexandrova gets it. Bejlek with a slice forehand, and then Alexandrova in the net. Great defense by Bejlek. And we get back to deuce. And the crowd appreciate the defense. All right, deuce again. As it a forehand from Bejlek into the backhand of Alexandrova. Bejlek forehand. Again to the backhand of Alexandrova as Bejlek forehand to the forehand of Alexandrova again as Bejlek hits a backhand. Alexandrova goes to the forehand down the line. Bejlek gets on the stretch. Alexandrova backhand down the line. Too good. No, Bejlek slides it back. Alexandrova comes in. Bejlek with another backhand, but this one's wide. Just. All right, advantage. Advantage Alexandrova to take us to the tiebreak. All right, Alexandrova with the back on the stretch as Bejlek hits a winner down the line. We're back to deuce. Marathon game. Marathon match. All right. As that goes out by Bejlek on the return. And it's advantage Alexandrova to take us to the tiebreak. All right, first serve is the fault, second serve. As the return goes to the backhand of Alexandrova, down the line of the backhand of Bejlek. Alexandrova backhand again to the backhand of Bejlek, into the front of Alexandrova. Bejlek on the stretch to the backhand of Alexandrova. Bejlek can't get that one. All right, Alexandrova, she finally gets us to a tiebreak. Doha schedule's out for tomorrow. All right, give me a second. Let me check what we're doing tomorrow. Okay. So tomorrow we are actually doing nothing. Wait, hang on. Do I get a day off? Do I get that? Hang on. Am I not streaming tomorrow? That doesn't seem right. That seems odd. Is that true? I'm not streaming tomorrow? Anyways, that goes to net by Bejlek and it's 1-love Alexandrova. Hang on. Wait, what's 1 p.m. in Doha anyway? So it starts at 9 o'clock my time. That can't be right. So hang on. Let me check this schedule properly. Mboko Buzkova, Fernandez Lee. Yeah, I think tomorrow we might not be watching Doha. 1-love. Alexandrova gets the mini break straight away as we're going to now from Alexandrova to the backhand of Bejlek. Backhand now from Alexandrova to the forehand of Bejlek as Alexandrova backhand to the backhand of Bejlek. Into the forehand of Alexandrova. Bejlek forehand on the stretch goes down the line for a winner. 1-all. What a shot. 1-1. Men's final in France. I mean, that is a possibility. You're right, there is tennis happening, but can we go to the beach? No, I'm just going to, I don't know. That's actually strange. I was expecting one of those first. So that means the second, day 2 is going to be crazy. Day 2 is going to be nuts. 1-all. As the return goes to the backhand of Alexandrova. Backhand from Bejlek into the forehand of Alexandrova. Bejlek on the stretch. Into the backhand of Alexandrova. Bejlek with the forehand on the stretch again. Alexandrova with a slice. Into the slice of Bejlek. Alexandrova forehand. Goes in the backhand of Bejlek as Alexandrova hits another forehand to the backhand of Bejlek. She goes down the line. Alexandrova on the stretch gets it. Bejlek forehand. Into the Alexandrova forehand as Bejlek hits a moon ball. Goes in the middle of the court. Alexandrova hits it to the backhand of Bejlek. Backhand slice from Alexandrova as Bejlek forehand again to the backhand of Alexandrova. Bejlek backhand cross court. Alexandrova gets with a slice. And then a drop shot. Bejlek. Alexandrova gets with a drop shot back. Too good. All right, 2-1. Alexandrova wins a marathon rally. All right. 2-1. Alexandrova. Two one. Who won the Super Bowl? Nobody. It's tomorrow, right? No, it's not. It hasn't happened yet. Right? Backhand Bejlek into the forehand of Alexandrova. Bejlek. Backhand cross court. Alexandrova gets it with a slice. But it goes long and it's 2-0. 2-2. Two all. Bejlek serves. To the backhand of Alexandrova. Return the backhand slice of Bejlek. Down the line of the backhand slice of Alexandrova. Bejlek. Backhand into the forehand of Alexandrova. Down the line of the forehand of Bejlek. Alexandrova. Forehand again. Cross court to the backhand of Bejlek. Alexandrova. Backhand down the middle. Bejlek gets it back into the forehand of Alexandrova. Bejlek. Backhand down the line of the tape. Goes in. Alexandrova on the attack. Bejlek slice. Alexandrova with a volley. Bejlek gets it back. But then Alexandrova goes straight to Bejlek, who hits a slice down the line for a long shot. 3-2 Alexandrova. Again, just marathon rallies. 3-2. Alexandrova with a mini break. Now we've got Raducanu coming up in about 20 minutes, so we'll be doing a bit of a double header as a bit of a crossover. It's a little unfortunate, but that's just the way the tennis is, unfortunately. They don't communicate and put the... I mean, even the men's semi-finals over in wherever is happening at the moment. Davis Cup's all over the place, so... But we'll watch... We will watch some... we'll watch the Raducanu match as well. Bejlek hits it out 4-2 Alexandrova. They change ends. So yeah, so tomorrow... Tomorrow we'll likely not do anything. 4-2, which is weird. All right, 4-2. There's a backhand Alexandrova to the backhand of Bejlek. Alexandrova forehand. Into the forehand of Bejlek on the stretch. Alexandrova backhanded again. The forehand of Bejlek. Down the line of the forehand of Alexandrova. Bejlek cross court. Into the backhand of Alexandrova. Alexandrova in the net. We're back on serve 4-3. 4-3. Alexandrova. Right. As that goes out by Alexandrova, we're 4-0. All right. As that goes down the line, a winner from Bejlek. Well, she has had 2 set points, Bejlek. And it's 5-4 Bejlek. All right, 5-4. As that goes in from Alexandrova and Bejlek's on the floor. She says she's okay. 5-all. 5-5. All right, first serve is a fault, second serve. As with a let from Alexandrova. As the backhand goes the forehand of Bejlek. Down the line now to the forehand of Alexandrova. Bejlek backhand. Into the backhand of Alexandrova. Again to the backhand of Bejlek. Slice goes in to the forehand of Alexandrova. Bejlek backhand. Goes wild. Oh, it's in! Alexandrova gets it. Bejlek forehand on the line. That goes long. Oh, wait, did it go in? It landed in! Bejlek hits a winner! How did that drop? It was going out by a mile and then it went on the line, hit the line. How did that happen? It was like a high loopy top spin forehand into the corner. It was so... set point. What the hell? That was the weirdest shot of the day. All right. Bejlek with another set point. That goes out from Alexandrova. And Bejlek takes the first. After like an hour and a half. That was an hour and 11 minutes. Crazy. Mad first set. Crazy, crazy first set. All right. 13 winners, 12 errors from Bejlek. 8 winners and 20 errors from Alexandrova. Only one break each in that set. But Alexandrova's serve is not good enough. Bejlek is doing some great returning. And that's where we're at. Okay, first set in the bag. I can't believe that went in. That set was very long. That was a wild shot. It was like 5-0 and it's just a high loopy shot in the corner. All right. But Bejlek takes the first. And she's fired up as well. All right. Cool. First set in the bag. We've got Raducanu coming up very shortly. Up against Castella over in Romania. So we'll be watching that as well. All right. Alexandrova is going to serve first. All right. Love 15 as Alexandrova makes an error. Love 15. As with a backhand now to the forehand of Bejlek. Forehand now from Alexandrova to the backhand of Bejlek. It's Alexandrova forehand. Into the backhand of Bejlek. Again, the forehand of Alexandrova. Bejlek puts in the net 15-0. 15 all. As it goes out by Bejlek, and it's 30-15. All right, Alexandrova on the stretch. Bejlek hits a forehand down the line. Alexandrova goes cross-court with her forehand. Slice from Bejlek goes into the forehand of Alexandrova. And Alexandrova hits it out. 30-all. Chance for Bejlek to break. All right. As we get a backhand passing shot, but Bejlek with a volley. Alexandrova with the pass again, but Bejlek puts it away. 30-40. And again, Bejlek's so fired up. Every point, she just keeps throwing fists. Break point, 30-40. $30-40 to take the break. As with a forehand from Bejlek into the forehand of Alexandrova. Bejlek on the stretch can't get it. And Alexandrova too strong. We get the deuce. We get to deuce. We'll start the Raducanu match shortly. As a return goes the back end of Alexandrova. Alexandrova the net. Advantage Bejlek to get that break. To take that break in the second. She already won the first set. What a great first set it was. As Alexandrova serves a let. And then she serves a fault. Second serve. As we had double fault. There's the break. Alexandrova down a set and a break in this final. Bejlek is in control for now, but things can change. We know that. It's actually unusual for the Czechs getting fired up on court. Usually they're pretty calm. Yeah, it's true. All right. Looks like Alexandrova is wading through at the moment. Wait, what? Cam Bejlek is not a player we watch a lot of times. Can you give a description of her playstyle and tactics? No. I don't think I will. Bro, we were talking about it at the start of the match. Why weren't you here? Love 15. Bro, coming in here directing the show. No. We just want to watch this match. Love 15. You should have been here earlier when we were discussing all those things. You were late to class. You missed out on the important notes that are going to be on the exam. Serve to the back end of Alexandrova. That goes out in the return 15. Oh. She's short, left-handed, fast, Fiery Palini. That's basically summarized what we were talking about earlier. 15-0. Yeah, Raducanu match is coming up soon. We'll get to that in a second. As we return now from Alexandrova to the forehand of Bejlek. Alexandrova again to the forehand of Bejlek. To the backhand of Alexandrova. Bejlek forehand again. Into the forehand of Alexandrova. Bejlek with a backhand cross court. Alexandrova goes again to the backhand of Bejlek. Down the line to the backhand of Alexandrova. Bejlek forehand. Alexandrova again to the forehand of Bejlek. Bejlek in the net. It's 30-15. Left-handed, that might have been it. She's left-handed. She is left-handed. There's a bit of fault, second serve. Second serve. As we backhand into the forehand of Bejlek. Backhand from Alexandrova. Bejlek goes down the line. Alexandrova forehand to the stretch. Bejlek backhand down the line. Alexandrova gets to the backhand cross court. Bejlek forehand down the line is good. Bejlek slice. Alexandrova slice goes wide. And Bejlek gets to 30-all. She is fighting for every point and winning. Okay. 30-all. With a serve. There's a fault, second serve. A return goes into the slice of Bejlek. Backhand Alexandrova. Bejlek with a slice again. Alexandrova forehand down the line as Bejlek goes cross court. The backhand of Alexandrova. Bejlek forehand again. Into the forehand of Alexandrova. Bejlek slice. Alexandrova gets with a forehand inside out. Good shot. Bejlek puts up a lob. Goes in. Alexandrova stays back. Hits a forehand to the forehand of Bejlek on the stretch. Alexandrova backhand goes in the net. I don't know why Alexandrova hasn't figured it out yet, but Bejlek's quick and she's getting everything back. So I don't know why Alexandrova is like standing there waiting, like not taking time away when she has a chance. That was a silly move. Like Bejlek hits a lob and Alexandrova stands back and lets it bounce. So Bejlek gets back. Like, why is she doing this? Like, why let Bejlek back in the rally? Anyway, it's 40-30. Bejlek to take the 2-love lead in the second. Return Alexandrova to the forehand of Bejlek. Alexandrova backhand. Into the forehand of Bejlek is Alexandrova backhand again. Bejlek with a forehand cross court. Alexandrova goes with the backhand down the middle. Goes long. 2-love. Bejlek has the lead. All right. How do you spell? All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. We've got a doubleheader today. We've got a 500 event over in Abu Dhabi that we're finishing up. We've watched it most of the week. Doubles as well, but we're only watching the singles final today. Alexandrova is in big trouble. She's down a set and a break to the 20-year-old from Czechia. And then we've got Raducanu taking on Castella, which is a banger matchup over in Romania. Raducanu trying to win her first title since the US Open. Castella trying to win one of her final titles, or maybe her final title at home, because she is retiring at the end of the season. By the way, Castella has had a very good year. She's only lost to Osaka and Sabalenka, I think, this year. So she is playing really well to finish her season. Maybe she'll do a Danielle Collins and not retire. Is that a thing? I feel like that is a thing. Anyway, Slice. Like, if you're playing well, why would you quit, right? She's playing very well. Maybe she'll stay around. Anyways, that's a winner by Alexandrova. They're both wearing purple, by the way. in Romania, which the court is also purple. Everything's purple. Purple, purple, purple. Equal support for Raducanu and Castella. I reckon Castella is going to get a little bit more support, though, because she is representing Romania. All right. Tell you what, Raducanu is not one to stick around for photos. She sits down, she stands there to take the photos. The second they take the photo, she runs away. Like the second the photo set, she sprints away. Before the other person has a chance to look at her. She did it yesterday too. She runs away. She runs, like she gets out of there quickly. Anyways, 40 love Alexandrova. She is not one to stick around for a photo. Alexandrova, by the way, has played so many points on serve in this match. All right, serve. Into the backhand of Bejlek, and Bejlek in the net. All right. All right, so Raducanu and Castella have played once before. They played at Wimbledon back in 2021 before Raducanu was a Grand Slam champion. And Raducanu won 6-3, 7-5 in the third round. So that was the only time they've ever played. So interesting that they played in Raducanu's backyard.
Thanks for this.
No, thank you. Thank you, Herman, for the $2. That scared the shit out of me. Did anybody else do that? Did anyone else get scared by that? That was crazy. Thank you for the donation. And now they're playing in the backyard of Castella. So let's see how things go. All right, Bejlek with a set and a break. And Raducanu is going to play against Sorana Castella, the 35-year-old who's retiring at the end of the season. All right. It was fun, the match they played at Wimbledon. Alexandrova, by the way, is... Oh, okay, I thought she left the court. I'm like, where'd she go? She disappeared. Not many players would have played Raducanu as not a Grand Slam champion. That is true. I think she only played like 10 or so matches before she won the Slam. So, yeah, you are correct on that one. She's one of the only players that played Raducanu before she became a champion. By the way, we've also got Bolter taking on Korpatch. First time, I think, in the history of the WTA that two British women are playing in finals simultaneously, or in the same week. So huge for British tennis, and they beat Norway in the Davis Cup. So yeah, been a big week for British tennis. As that goes the net by Alexandrova, 15 love. So yeah, big week for British tennis. All right, let's go stay away to the crowd. As a return out by Bejlek, and it's 15-all. Raducanu's two finals have been as a qualifier and as number one seed. I know, right? That's madness. Katie Bolter is Australian also. That is true. She is Aussie. I forgot. My bad. All right, 15-all as Bejlek tries to hold. As a return from Alexandrova goes in the front of Bejlek. Bejlek puts it away. Alexandrova just stopped moving. She was just like, nah, I'm not even trying with that one. 30-15. I hope Emma wins. Otherwise, people like Boris Becker are going to make fun of her. Yeah, I don't know what Boris Becker's comments were made in jest. I don't know. If Raducanu doesn't win, it's still been a great week for the Raducanu fans because she's made a final, and that's a huge deal for the long-suffering Raducanu fans who have had to battle, constant criticism of their favorite player. So even if she doesn't win, and look, this is a very tough final. Like Castella has had a great year so far, and is playing at home, right? It's Castella's home. Raducanu's half Romanian, but she doesn't live there. As Bejlek holds a 3-1. Also, she had a tough match in yesterday's semi-final where she almost went down. And Castella, like I said, had a great week. It's her final, probably a final match at home because she's retiring this year, so she's on fire. So, this is a very tricky match. And I don't know if Raducanu is the favorite or not, but it is going to be tricky. All right, Castella to serve. I think I'm going to go Raducanu in 3, but it's going to be tough. As with a forehand from Alexandrova, she's in big trouble. Love 15, she hits it in the net. As with a backhand return from Raducanu, the backhand of Castella, Castella hits a winner. So yeah, Castella's only lost, I think, if I remember correctly from doing some research, I'm pretty sure she's only lost this year to Sabalenka and Osaka. Yeah, so she, and you want to take it further, she hasn't lost to a player outside the top 30 since October, where she lost to Zhang in Wuhan. She lost to Fernandez in Osaka. She lost to Fernandez in Hong Kong, both of those in the later stage of the tournament, semi-final, quarterfinal. She then lost in Brisbane to Sabalenka, and then she lost at the Australian Open to Osaka. So that's not a bad run since, mid-October last year. She's been playing really well. Some of the players she's beaten along that time as well. She's beaten Ostapenko, Bolter. She actually beat Pego a couple of times last year at the end of last year. And then this week she's beaten Potapova. So, yeah, Castella's having a great run towards, at the end of last year and into this final season for her. All right, love 40. Bejlek, a chance to get this double break here in the second. G'day, host. G'day. 30 love, by the way, is Raducanu forehand into the forehand of Castella. Raducanu can't get that one. She didn't even run for it. Anyways, that goes out by Alexandrova. Like, Raducanu didn't even attempt to move to that one. But she did play a long match yesterday, so maybe she's feeling sore. Anyways, Bejlek's got the double break here in the second. 21 minutes played. And Bejlek is in control. 40 love Castella. As Castella holds 1 love in this final. All right. Alexandrova in big trouble. Hard to believe Castella only has 3 titles in all these years. Yeah, I mean, look, she lived in the shadow of Halep. I think we all know that, right? That Halep was the Romanian player, and she kind of like lived in her shadow. They weren't friendly, apparently, as well during their careers until recent events when Halep got banned. Castella kind of, didn't change their tune, but like was kind of like in support of Halep a little for the first time. But yeah, I mean, lived in the shadow of Halep. She was the one who was getting, she was the one that was getting all the praise. And but hey, Castella has still had a good career. She's been around for a long time, and I'm sure she'll probably be a coach or something in the future. She seems like the type. Like she would be like the Billie Jean King Cup captain for Romania or something. Romania's got some good players coming through. It's not like Romania is like Halep, Castella, and nobody. Like there are some good players coming through Romania. So maybe she'll be a coach for them, but we'll see. All right, 15 love here. Bejlek is 2 games away from a 500 title. That's a huge trophy as a quali. Another young player, along with Eala, Jovic, and Boko. By the way, Raducanu hasn't won a point yet. Love 30. And Bejlek is now... I think we watched Bejlek like 2 years ago. I'm pretty sure we watched her at the Australian Open, right? Didn't we watch her play like Sabalenka or something at the Australian Open a couple years ago? I remember we've watched her before. She is definitely a force. So we watched Bejlek against Fernandez at the Australian Open last year. No, 24. Yeah, so 2 years ago. Holy shit. And I remember we watched it then, and another Czech player to keep an eye on, right? There's Valentova, there's Bejlek now as well, along with all the other Czech players. As Kostya hits another winner in Love 40. Raducanu hasn't won a point in this final, and Bejlek's won 10 points in a row as well. All right, 40 love, Bejlek to go to 5-1. So Alexis Cantor, who is apparently an LTA appointed coach for Raducanu this week. All right, love 40 here as the return goes out by Kostya, and it's 15-40 as that goes in the net by Bejlek, and it's 40-15. And she is almost about to win a big trophy. And I think now we're going to start saying, okay, well, Joint, Bejlek, Mboko, Jovic, Eala. Obviously, Andreeva is in that same generation, but she should be, if she wins this title, she should be in the conversation of young players as Bejlek holds, and it's 5-1. Because, I mean, she's about to do what Jovic did last year, win a 500 event. The only difference is that she's 3 years older than Jovic. But Bejlek is definitely, with this win, I mean, a 500 trophy is legit. And that's a big trophy. So we definitely got to put her on the list of the next generation. All right, serve out wide to the backhand of Kostya. Kostya hits it out, and Raducanu is a deuce. First game of the match. All right. We get a serve from Alexandrova. She serves to stay in the match. Serving to stay in the match. Serving to the backhand of Bejlek. Good return. Alexandrova gets it. Bejlek with a forehand down the line. Alexandrova gets it with a slice, but it's in the net. Love 15. Bejlek is not messing about. Advantage to Sarah, by the way. She tries to break first games of the match. As we just serve from Raducanu is a fault. Second serve. Second serve. By the way, great running by Bejlek, but Alexandrova too good as Raducanu backhand to the forehand of Kostya. Raducanu forehand to the forehand of Kostya again. Raducanu again with the forehand to the forehand of Kostya. Kostya hits it out. We're back to deuce. As that goes out by, it goes past Bejlek at the net. Alexandrova 15-0. As Alexandrova serves a fault. Second serve. Serving to the forehand of Bejlek. Backhand up from Alexandrova. Bejlek on the stretch. Into the forehand of Alexandrova. Bejlek. Slice. As that goes in the net by Alexandrova. 15-30. 2 points away from the championship. $15.30. As with a backhand to the forehand of Bejlek. Forehand from Alexandrova. Bejlek backhand on the stretch. Alexandrova backhand in the net. Championship points for Bejlek. 15-40. This second set has flown by. All right, Kostya with a break point as well. But the 20-year-old from Czechia is about to win as a qualifier a WTA 500 event. As Raducanu survives, back to deuce. Serve is a fault from Alexandrova. Second serve. Into the backhand of Bejlek. Return goes down the line. Alexandrova gets it with the backhand in the net! And Bejlek wins Abu Dhabi as a quali. Biggest trophy by a long shot of her career. She's only 20. She's just getting started. And she is one of the shortest players on tour as well. But another player from Czechia, another young player to keep an eye on. Bejlek wins Abu Dhabi. Huge win. Crazy. What a win. Alexandrova just couldn't get it together after that first set. She was at 5-0 in that first set. Bejlek took the set, and then Alexandrova disappeared. But what a win by Sara Bejlek. Huge win. And another player to chuck in the mix of young players to keep an eye on. Now, I don't know if Bejlek's playing next week. Alexandrova is playing next week. Is Bejlek playing in Doha, or did she miss the cut? I think she missed the cut. But it doesn't matter. She can celebrate this trophy for a week and then go to Dubai. She'll get a wild card there, surely. Anyways, break point again for Castella as Raducanu forehand is out, and there's the break. Castella, 2-love. All right, we're going to merge the streams to make it easier to keep track. But jump on over here if you want to keep watching. Bejlek at 38 in the world now. Wow. She leapfrogs a couple of those players of her generation. Eala, Joint. I think, does she leapfrog Joint? Hang on. Is she now the third? No, she can't be the third best under 21-year-old, is she? That's the men's side. Hang on. Oh, so she's right behind Maya Joint. So it goes Andreeva, Mboko, Jovic, Joint, Bejlek. She overtakes Eala and Valentova, who are just behind her. So yeah, big jump. I mean, you win a 500 event, you know, it makes big difference. As the volley goes in the net by Castella, 15, love 15. So yeah, so Andreeva's got 1,000s, Mboko's got a 1,000, Jovic has got a 500, Joint's got multiple 250s, and now Bejlek's got a 500. So Eala, Valentova, Marchenko, who are just behind, they don't have those big trophies yet. They don't have the 250 trophies or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, it shows if you win a couple of big trophies, 250s or 500s, win a couple of those, you can be in the top 30 as well, or the top 40. So yeah, those are the 6 players, seven players. Those 7 players are in the top 50. The under 21-year-olds, 7 of them. And we all know about Andreeva and the others. But yeah, Bejlek, if you didn't know her before this week, now you do. And she is also a part of that group. And she might get a special entry next week. I don't know. Is she playing next week? I don't even know. But anyways, jump on over. We're going to watch Raducanu, see if she can win her first title since the US Open. But yeah, Sara Bejlek getting it done, 7-6, 6-1, to win her first WTA trophy. And it's a 500 event as well. Massive trophy.